Illuvium's Private Beta 2 is just around the corner, but what can we expect to see in it? What's actually going to be different? First of all, checkpoints. So as you're running through your waves, let's say you get to like, I don't know, wave 23 and you die. You don't have to just immediately start wave 1 again. You can actually just continue, not exactly from the wave that you are on, but there's a checkpoint every 5 waves. So if you're on wave 23, you get to start again from wave 20. You get up to 3 checkpoints every single run. However, if your client does crash, or you like shut down the client, then you do kind of lose your checkpoints for that run. But regardless, if you die, you get to start back from a checkpoint, so you don't have to regrind up those first 15, 20, or however many waves that you were doing, which is really, really cool because you get to have a lot more practice on higher waves rather than all the time having to grind back up through the early waves, which I think is super, super exciting. Second, we will have augments, and you can put up to 2 augments per Illuvial, and what these basically are is an enhancement or like a bonus that you attach to your Illuvial, basically like extra power, extra speed, this, that, or other. And that's super cool because it adds a lot more functionality to Illuvials that you love and want to build your deck around. If you really like a specific Illuvial, but maybe the deck doesn't kind of work for it, you can even force that Illuvial to be good by making it better using augments. Third, we've got bonding, and if you've been playing Private Beta 1 and let's say you really love Granite, but you can only get 2 Granite because there's only Sephirus and Titan Ore that you can put together to get 2 Granite on the board, but you want another Granite unit, but there isn't another Granite unit. Well, you can now bond one of those Illuvials to your Ranger, giving her Granite, giving you an extra Granite composite on the board. So basically your Ranger getting even more superpowers. So if you can actually do that, like give your Ranger, I don't know, Granite, and you've got like 3 Granite on the board, then maybe you can get like an augment onto your Ranger, which is already honestly an insanely sick unit, could be mega insane. I'm running out of adjectives here. Number 4, the leaderboard. Training mode will no longer count towards the leaderboard. So the only way for you to get on the leaderboard is for you to actually play in competitive mode. But if you're anything like me, that might actually concern you. I've always been worried that I'm not going to be able to place or make all the decisions that I need to do in the later waves with only a minute worth of time to make that decision or to even make those moves, because at that point you've got like, I don't know, 8 Illuvials on the board, and it's like you can only click so fast. But this is no longer the case. So I believe what's going to be happening is like on wave 1, we're going to start with, I think, 45 seconds of time. And then as every wave goes by, you get an extra 5 seconds worth of decision-making time within competitive mode. So by the time you're on wave 20, you've got over 2 minutes worth of thinking time, which is only going to keep growing as you get further, which I think is really big brain of them, because it doesn't really make sense to have the same amount of thinking time for a really simplified wave like wave 1 compared to like wave 30. You have a lot more to consider the further you get. Number 5, new Illuvials. So on top of all the Illuvials we've been playing with in Private Beta 1, we will also be playing with all of the Tier 0 Illuvials as well as the Lynxes, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to be adding extra Illuvials as time goes by, even before the game has come out, as they will need to balance all the Illuvials before the game comes out so that when the game does come out, they're well balanced and well rounded, and the game is awesome. Number 6 is the interest system. So any mastery points that you do not spend on a specific wave, you will actually earn interest on those mastery points. So that you actually don't just want to defeat these waves as best as you can. You want to defeat them as well as you can, whilst also using as little of your currency as possible so that you have extra currency for later waves. Now, this is actually super cool because it adds another layer of strategy to the point where you're not just placing necessarily, oh, I can easily defeat this wave with this setup, but you can actually try to learn to optimize better, which better helps to actually improve your skills in the game. And as survival mode is essentially a training mode for the rest of the game, like that makes a ton of sense, as you're suddenly learning how to best optimize and even save, like, I don't know, an extra 20 mastery points between this decision and this decision. That's still like an improvement, because later in the games you might have, like, I don't know, to make 50 mastery points decisions, and you can stack those benefits of those more efficient sort of strategies that you've come up with. Number 7 is the upgraded UI. So the entire game's UI has basically been made way better. That's all I can say. It's just cooler, sleeker, better in every single way. Number 8 is the sound effects and the VFX. All the visual effects within the game have been super revamped and made just to be better. Also, actually, a bunch of the Omega abilities within the game, they have been changed somewhat to be just more efficient, faster paced, and just better overall for the player experience. And also the sound effects, like, I don't know if you guys have seen some of the recent leaks, but like, just listen to this. Like, that just sounds so damn good. I cannot wait to play this game. And number 9 is balancing. The game has just been balanced further so that pretty much every Illuvial is useful, so that you're not feeling like, oh, this Illuvial costs way too much for what it does. There's just no point in using it. It's just, within this current meta, it's just a worthless unit. Whereas it'll be much better and way more units will be usable, rather than some units feeling like they're just not worth the mastery points that they cost. And last of all, number 10 is that every single time you start a new run, the opponent's boards will be randomized and made anew. So like at the moment, every single day, once a day, the deck that every player plays with resets. That's going to stay the same. We all around the world will be playing with the same deck like for a specific day, and then the next day it changes. However, when I start a run today, I will play and then I die and then restart from a checkpoint and use up all my checkpoints. And then when I start another run from fresh, the opposing boards will be completely different from what they were the first run I made, meaning that I can't just like take screenshots of how I got to wave 15 and then just insert the screenshotted requirements and then continue on from that wave. I actually have to think about my waves every single run. Now, this is way better, in my opinion, for just like replayability, because like at the moment with Private Beta 1, you do a run and you die, and like the excitement that you experienced having to figure everything out, suddenly I'm playing and I'm trying to remember what did I do last time that worked. And it shouldn't be really a memory game. It should be a problem-solving game that is helping you improve your skills at Illuvium, and that's exactly what it will be for every single run that you do, because it will be a unique puzzle that you are playing each and every time. Now, what does this mean for competitiveness? It improves competitiveness in the sense that there isn't anyone that can use screenshots to their advantage, so people getting high waves are doing so because they can consistently think on the spot with a time limit. Now, that's great. Some people don't like it for competitive reasons because maybe that other person got a slightly easier like wave setup than I did, and people I'm sure are gonna bitch about that, but overall they're gonna be pretty similar in like balance range of difficulty, and you can always just run again, right? So if you're the kind of person that's making 2 or 3 runs a day, like you're gonna see pretty much a good diverse range of what's available on like the difficulty of runs. I don't think there's gonna be too much difference though. Maybe sometimes there's just a really hard wave 15, as we know in the current setups, but also we will be all playing with the same deck in PB2. So I think for overall gameplay and for everything, I think it's just a way better improvement to have it the way that it's now going to be in Private Beta 2. And I overall don't think that survival mode is going to be like the biggest competitive scene once the game comes out, because it's really meant to be more of a practice mode, bit of like horde and like a single player PvP that just isn't on the overworld, which I think there might be a bit of competitiveness there for just getting on the leaderboards, right? But if you're the kind of person that wants to be super competitive, just play 10, 20 runs a day and you're going to eventually get the kind of, like you'll just get it, you know? I'm happy with it. I'm highly excited about it. And if you're excited about Private Beta 2, comment down below which one of these you are most excited about. What will best improve the gameplay for yourself? And what are you most looking forward to beyond Private Beta 2? Like, are you most looking forward to Illuvium 0? Are you looking forward to the overworld? Or you just really can't wait to get your hands on some PvP so that you can beat your friends? Because that's what I'm waiting for more than anything else. That's going to be freaking awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, subscribe to this channel for more Illuvium content and smash that like button if you enjoyed this video, because I'm Vetemor, you're the future, and I'll be seeing all of you guys there.